Start by going back 4 years.
I'll be the greatest jobs president that God ever created.
Well, he was. He delivered the highest number of people working in American history, the lowest unemployment in 50 years, the lowest for women in nearly 70 years, the lowest Black, Hispanic, and Asian unemployment ever.
The forgotten men and women won't be forgotten anymore.
They weren't. For the first time in decades, earnings rose faster for the lowest paid than the rich. Under Obama, inequality went up. With Trump, it came down. By the end of last year, 3/4 of the people entering the labor force were coming off the sidelines, the highest since records began.
To keep our country out of war, we will remember those three very famous words: peace through strength.
Trump is the first president since the 1970s not to start a foreign conflict. Our troops are coming home from the Middle East. Our military power has been massively enhanced. Trump defused the North Korea nuclear crisis he inherited. He's achieved peace deals in the Middle East that eluded his establishment predecessors. Yeah, I think peace through strength just about covers it.
Our horrible trade agreements with China and many others will be totally renegotiated. That includes renegotiating NAFTA to get a much better deal for America.
That's literally what he did. He put tariffs on China. He renegotiated NAFTA to produce the USMCA, the most pro-worker trade deal ever. Global supply chains were reconfigured. Jobs came back to America. Household earnings rose and inflation stayed low. The globalists were wrong and Trump was right.
I will produce for the inner cities, and I will produce for the African Americans.
Opportunity zones with billions of dollars of new investment for urban areas, record funding for historically black colleges, criminal justice reform to reverse the destruction of Joe Biden's crime bill. The only federal action on police reform after George Floyd, while Kamala Harris blocked police reform in the Senate. All that on top of the lowest black unemployment ever, the lowest black poverty ever, and a massive rise in average income for black families.
A Trump administration will secure and defend the borders of the United States.
Catch and release terminated. The wall nearly finished. Asylum seekers remain in Mexico. Caravans turned back thanks to the threat of tariffs. The result? Illegal border crossings down, gangs under attack, immigration under control.
We are going to appoint justices of the United States Supreme Court who will uphold our laws and our Constitution.
Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Barrett. Moving on.
I am also going to propose a massive tax cut to unleash prosperity in every city and every state in our country.
The Trump tax cuts gave the average family an extra $2,000 a year and reduced our business taxes from among the highest in the developed world to one of the lowest. As a result, companies came back to America and investment boomed.
We'll get rid of these horrible regulations that make it impossible to do business in this country.
A massive program of deregulation led to higher investment, which boosted productivity, which increased workers' pay. Energy deregulation helped America become a net oil exporter for the first time in 75 years.
Our focus must be on defeating terrorism and destroying ISIS.
Our military leaders were given that focus. They were given operational control after years of second-guessing by Obama-Biden. ISIS was destroyed, losing 100% of its territory. Get the picture? That's just a top 10. Has there ever been a president who delivered so many of his promises in so many policy areas as Donald Trump? Biden says, who cares? Coronavirus. What is he even talking about? Trump shut down travel from China in January. Fauci says that saved thousands of lives. Where's the highest death toll? New Jersey, run by Democrats. New York, run by Democrats. Republican Florida, no lockdown, no mask mandate, many more elderly people, much lower death rate. What's the best single thing any leader could do? Bring the pandemic to an end as quickly as possible. The only way is vaccines and treatments. Trump was on it right from the start. He brought the drug companies together, the military, the bureaucracy. Yes, he yelled at the FDA. If ever it was vital to have a businessman in the White House, this was the moment. If you'd had Biden there, we'd be waiting years for the vaccines, years for the treatments. The idiots in the media attack Trump for saying we're rounding the corner. But even the New York Times' own pandemic expert now says this, quote, "Experts are saying with genuine confidence that the pandemic in the United States will be over far sooner than they expected." Don't vote for Trump despite his pandemic response, but because of it. Just like the other big issue that's dominated this year, we've shown you Trump's record on racial justice. And yes, he'll bring law and order. But equally, he'll bring opportunity with his Platinum Plan for Black America, boosting community lending for black entrepreneurs, millions of new jobs. Biden would shut down opportunity zones. Trump will expand them. Biden would abolish school choice. With Trump, there'll be more. Biden says he'll heal our racial divide. What? Mr. You ain't black, Mr. Predator, Mr. Crime Bill that destroyed countless black families and communities. On the issues, on the policy, Trump is the right choice. On the economy, he pioneered a new conservative populism, pro-business on tax and regulation, pro-worker on trade and immigration. It led to the greatest economy we've ever seen, a blue-collar boom, lifting up those left behind by the establishment economics Biden would take us back to. On foreign policy, perhaps Trump's most consequential achievement and greatest legacy, reversing decades of establishment surrender to confront China's rise. Biden says normalcy. For working Americans, normalcy is cruelty. They send your jobs to China, then go to China to get jobs for themselves. You get poorer, they get richer. Normalcy is career politicians like Biden and Harris, totally controlled by the bureaucrats and the administrative state. Biden says his tweets, we want calm. Calm? Biden's practically comatose, the feeble stooge of fighting factions and the far left. The snooty, snobby, superficial establishment want this election to be about style, not substance. Well, that may be fine for the already comfortable, but for Americans who are struggling, who want to climb the ladder of opportunity, try doing that with a Biden speech about the soul of the nation. On the substance, in any fair election, Trump would be resoundingly re-elected. But we don't have a fair election. NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, NPR, New York Times, Washington Post, Facebook, Twitter, all of it, non-stop, wall-to-wall Biden propaganda, the alliance of bias, colluding to suppress information and suppress the Trump vote. They're the ones undermining our democracy. For 3.5 years, they plotted and schemed against President Trump from morning till night, and look what he was still able to accomplish. Now, they want to destroy Trump and his supporters, not because of policy or results or anything real, but because of their insane, irrational hate. Yes, there is the policy argument, Trump recovery or Biden shutdown. But this is bigger than that. This is about a threat to our values and our freedom. It's about the frightening new intolerance on the left, in the universities, in Silicon Valley, in the media, in corporate America. It's about the divisive ideology of woke supremacy. It's about the establishment machine trying to crush the populist revolution that started, finally, to put power back into people's hands. Don't let them do it. Don't let them win. Don't just rage against the machine. Vote against it.